SNAP benefits will not be issued for the month of November. If you're new here, my name is Crystal. I am a social worker and a caseworker. I have been working in the social service field for over 10 years. I also worked at the SNAP Welfare Food Stamp Office for over 6 years. I have processed hundreds of SNAP cases, and in this video, I will explain to you what's happening with November SNAP benefits. Due to the government shutdown, many states are now sending out notifications stating that they do not have the funds to issue SNAP benefits for the month of November. The federal government has already informed all states that it will not fund November's benefits. And since the funding for SNAP comes from the federal government, the states literally have no money to pay out. Some states are outright saying that they will not issue November's benefits, and some states have not confirmed it yet. I'll just tell you, if you receive SNAP benefits, please be careful on how you spend October's benefits because there will be no more SNAP issued until this shutdown ends.
No more food stamp because of the government shutdown starting November 1st. If you have food stamp right now, I urge you to save your money. If you have to go on eggs and rice, then so be it. But save your money because we don't know exactly what's going to happen. As long as the government shutdown continues, the benefit is going to stop because they don't have enough funds to, sustain the program. And it's not only that. We're talking about the Army. We're talking about veterans. We're talking about TSA employees. A lot of people are going to stop getting paid. And this is just going to create chaos because nobody's going to want to work. Now, Republicans are blaming Democrats. Democrats are blaming Republicans. It's just a back and forth. Now, I got a question for you guys. How about those Democrats and Republicans? How about they stop getting their paycheck? And let's see how that works. I guarantee that if they stop getting paid because of the shutdown, they're going to open up like this. But since they're getting paid, they don't care about you guys.
I get it. I have a family that has fucking food stamps. But do not go in these motherfucking people's store and steal because it's a setup. They're doing it around the holidays on purpose. It's a setup. I'm telling you, it is. National Guard will be at your house, at your car. Like, just think about it. Thanksgiving is in November. The one holiday where we literally celebrate with a lot of food. I can't say too much because y'all know how the government work and they listen. They be trying to take the videos down. But just think about it for a second. What happens when people don't have food, when people can't provide for their family, when people are on their last resort? What happens when people get frustrated over somebody they eventually snap, right?
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So we got to talk about the massive panic that is taking place across the country because of the possibility that food stamps are going to get cut off going into the holidays, okay? And liberals are currently losing their minds over this possibility due to the fact that Democrats decided that they would shut down the government in order to virtue signal to the far left, right? The radical extremists, Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, they're trying to save their jobs. So they say, you know what? We're going to shut down the government. We're going to try to avoid our troops getting paid, air traffic controllers being paid, essential personnel being paid, the American people, right, getting these welfare checks and these benefits, right? We're going to take away all that. We're going to shut down all of that. Because we're trying to save our own jobs, right? We want to save our careers. We don't want to be primaried by some far-left lunatic, right? This is what they're doing, okay? And they're trying to point the finger at Trump and to blame Trump when, again, they're the ones currently voting against keeping the government open. And because of that, food programs, nutritional programs, like SNAP, funds are running out, okay, due to the fact that the government is not open.
Development on this Thursday morning is the USDA has indicated to states that if this shutdown stretches into November, if this shutdown goes past that 1 month mark, and it certainly looks like it may, food assistance programs like SNAP may be the next victim of a prolonged shutdown. In fact, I think we have some video of the state of government, the website in the state of Minnesota this morning. They've indicated that they've received notice that a shutdown going into November will impact food assistance programs. And their website goes on to say that as of last night at 10 p.m., they're no longer accepting new applications. This is the part I was talking about. No longer accepting new applications for food SNAP benefits. So we're already talking about the impact on SNAP in Minnesota. I was just speaking with our Scripps News group in Denver. They're seeing local impacts there of new SNAP applications not being approved this morning because of this prolonged shutdown. Certainly doesn't look like SNAP will be saved like WIC was saved, the Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for women, infants, and children. The Trump administration is using tariff revenues to keep that going. The president's used research and development funds to pay troops. It doesn't look like SNAP, which tens of millions of Americans rely on for food on their table, it doesn't look like that may be heading in that direction should this shutdown again be prolonged. One development, again, is that there is no development. And here's Leader Senator John Thune and Senator Chuck Schumer speaking on Capitol Hill yesterday about the status of this shutdown.
I think the American people are wondering when the Senate Democrats are going to end their temper tantrum and vote to reopen the government. Every day that this goes on, the problems are compounded for federal workers and for ordinary Americans.
People get sick, people will lose their insurance, people will die. Plain and simple. Republicans know this, and yet neither Trump nor congressional Republicans are even trying to solve the healthcare crisis.
Oh man, I feel so bad right now for all the kids that are gonna be hungry because they cut SNAP benefits. Are you out of your fucking mind? Are you out of your fucking mind? Do you know how many children depend on that? And right during the holidays, are you out of your fucking minds? I feel bad. I do. I feel so bad for people. I feel bad for the children. The children. They're the ones that are going to suffer. Are you out of your minds? I'm going to tell you right now, if I see someone stealing from the store, good for them. Good for them. Let them steal. That's what's going to happen. There's going to be so much theft come November and December. There's going to be so much of it. And honestly, if I worked at a retail store and I saw people stealing food, do it. Do it. Because how the f*** are going to take away food from children? This country is gross.
Yeah, you should not steal, right? You should not steal. Okay, if food stamps actually do get cut off, okay, we're gonna see. You should not steal. But I find it fascinating how liberals are already trying to justify the stealing, right? They're already trying to justify what could possibly happen if they cut off food stamps, right? That there's gonna be mass theft, mass stealing, and we already know a lot of the individuals, the demographic, they'll probably be doing it the most, right? And then they'll say, well, you're racist for pointing it out, okay? Even though everybody knows, okay? So with that being said, you know, again, I hate that it's come down to this, but blame Democrats, right? Democrats think that the way to, quote unquote, solve the healthcare crisis, right? Because that's what they claim they're holding out over. They're holding out over healthcare, right? Is to starve people, right? It's to take away their food, to take away their pay, okay? That is what they believe, okay? And now you have people who are in full-blown panic mode over the possibility of SNAP getting cut off in November, right before Thanksgiving, right before Christmas. Yeah, this is not good.
Y'all need to get y'all's families together and have a big family meeting about how the holidays is motherfucking canceled. Yeah, cancel all of this shit. Everything is canceled, okay? Don't go out there buying all of these gifts, all of these presents. Don't go out there buying all of this. Furthermore, you need to start cutting down on your spending and stop buying unnecessary stuff, okay? Because the only way we're going to affect these...
Probably should be doing that anyways, right? Regardless of if your food stamps get cut off or not, right? I think cutting down on unnecessary spending, right? Living below your means, that's something that most people should just do anyways, to be honest with you.
People is to hit their pockets. They don't give a damn about us, all right? They done suspended SNAP benefits for the month of November. They said, hey, states, we ain't got it. How you ain't got it? How you ain't got it? But you're sending money to other countries. You're sending money to other countries and you're funding their food, you're funding their health insurance. Meanwhile, the government is shut down about an argument about health insurance. and about other things that Americans need. But you're sending my money to another country. Shut the shit down. And before y'all get in my comments trying to talk shit, shut up. Okay? Oh, she's just mad because she's not receiving her food stamps this month. Baby, I don't even receive food stamps, but I have before. I'm not mad that I'm me personally not receiving food stamps. I'm mad about the direction America's going in. I'm mad for the people that's not receiving food stamps this month and that really need it. I'm mad that they cancel food stamps on the month where everybody gets together and spends the most on food.
Well, again, the problem is you're not getting to the heart of why this is happening, right? You're complaining about the government doing this, the government doing that, while the government is shut down, right? But who is responsible for shutting down the government? Okay? You know, they're arguing about healthcare. The only reason they're arguing about healthcare is because Democrats want to argue about it. They can continue to argue about healthcare and open up the government. But Democrats have said we're not going to open up the government unless Republicans capitulate to our demands, unless the Republicans capitulate to spending $1 trillion, right, to help illegals get access to Medicaid, right, to get healthcare. Yeah, unless you do that, we're not going to open up the government. So again, all this boohoo whining and crying, you know, hey, it might play well for certain audiences, but let's get to the crux of what's going on here, right? Democrats have shut down the government and they said, we don't care if people starve. We want illegal immigrants to get health care, right? We want these Obamacare subsidies that we don't need to be extended. We want to keep driving up the cost of health care because that's what they're actually going to end up doing when you spend more government money. Yeah, we want to just continue to spend more, right? We want to inflate the cost of everything even more, right? That is what Democrats are shutting down the government for, okay? Let's be real about this.
Thanksgiving. I'm mad about that. When they know people need food. People that are really struggling are going to go without food. Homeless people are going to go without food. There are people that are going to be, in the month of November, starving. Food banks was already packed and already full. They're going to be even more packed than ever. And as a matter of fact, if you have the means and you feel like, oh, I haven't been affected yet, go ahead and give. Instead of spending money on bullshit this year, how about you go ahead and give to your local food banks? Go give some food. Go give some time. Go give some energy and help out.
Hey, you should be saying go get a job too, right? I mean, let's be real. You need to be telling people, hey, go get a job, right? Go get a job. Yes, I know the job market is not doing so great nowadays, but I'm just saying, I think it's possible, right? I mean, I've heard there are places where people are just not applying, right? They just don't want to work. So, you know, regardless, I'm just saying that more so than anything, I think go get a job might be the best piece of advice here.
Because if it's affecting one, it can affect all. We're all going to be affected by this eventually. And it's no coincidence that they canceling food stamps this month. He wants us to go out and riot so bad so he can declare martial law.
No, that's Democrats. Again, see, that's the problem with these people, right? The problem with these people, all this boohoo whining and crying, but yeah, she can't connect this back to the fact that Democrats. See, this is again the media's fault, right? And people are gonna believe what they want to believe. Republicans are voting to open up the government, and it's Democrats who are saying no, right? Literally, Democrats. All it takes is 6 or 7 of them to say, okay, we want to open up the government, and the government will be open, right? We're going to continue spending the same spending that Democrats supported for the last 3 to 4 years. Again, if you really believe that it is the Republicans' fault that the government is shut down, you are you're very dumb. Okay, let me just say that. Okay, you're not a very bright person. Okay, let's just be real.
Y'all should be very upset, and if y'all can't get on one accord and stop buying shit up at the very least, baby, we're already done. We're doomed. We're done. Shut it down. Only buy necessities. Yeah, holidays is canceled. Don't go out there buying your kids $1,000 worth of gifts. Sit your kids down and have a conversation. It'll be okay. Let them know. We're fighting right now, sweetie. We are fighting. Your kids will understand. Let them know you're fighting for their future, because right now it's not looking like they're going to have much of one.
What?
They'll understand. They'll get with the program. They'll adapt. They'll adjust. It'll be okay.
Wait, so you justifying it, right? Are you justifying the Democrats shutting down the government, taking away people's food stamps, right? Are you justifying that? Because that's what it sounds like to me, right? Apparently, liberals and their propagandists believe that, hey, you need to tell your kid, listen, Democrats fight for democracy. This is why you can't eat. why you can't have those Doritos. Democrats are fighting for democracy. Is this really what they're going with? Is this what they're going with, bruh? Real talk. Is that what they're doing? Is this the propaganda? Is this the talking point? Listen. Orange man bad. This is why you going hungry. You got to go hungry because orange man bad. Wow. Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
You got to hit their pockets. You got to hit them where it hurts. They're not going to listen until you affect their money, affect their wallet. Since they want to take money out the government, and a lot of these big corporations, big businesses are the ones that's funding it. Stop spending money. Yeah, holidays is canceled. Next 4 years, stop buying shit up. They don't give a damn about us. Stop buying shit up. Baby, don't go out there buying up all that shit. Sit the fuck down. Next 4 years, we sitting the fuck down.
Yeah. Anyways, again, if this happens, Democrats are to blame, right? I mean, I don't know how else to explain it to people, right? At this point, again, if you really do believe that this is Republicans' fault, I don't know what to tell you. And here's the thing, right? If Republicans actually were like, arguing about the government shutdown, if they actually were holding up the process, I would say, yeah, the Republicans are at fault, right? Because they're trying to decide, how they want to fund the government. And I think there are legitimate reasons why the government should be shut down, right? When you talk about trying to cut spending, right? When you say, hey, the government's spending too much, we got to shut it down, that is legitimate. But I don't think it's legitimate to shut the government down because you want to force the government to spend more money, right? Which is what Democrats are doing. But, in this situation, when it comes to the food stamp stuff, again, a lot of Democrats and their constituents are going to be upset. They're going to get hit the most, right? They're going to get hit the hardest. And they can only point the fingers at their own party, right? Point the fingers at your own party who are currently voting against opening up the government. They're voting against that. There's nobody else to blame here, right? There's nobody else to blame at all except Democrats. But hey, this is what you voted for, right? You guys want Democrats to be more Trump deranged. You want them to stand up to Trump. Well, you got to be willing to starve, right? Because remember, Democrats, their constituents was telling Democrats, hey, Democrats, you have to be willing to put your life on the line, right? You need to be willing to get shot, okay, on behalf of the illegals to stand up to Trump. Now Democrats are telling their constituents, you got to be willing to starve, right? Hold it out. Your kids got to be willing to starve. You ain't getting Thanksgiving. You ain't getting Christmas, right? You ain't getting your food stamps. You gotta be willing to go hungry to fight Trump, right? Yeah, let's see how this plays out for Democrats in the long run. Let's see how long they're gonna hold out with their constituents not getting their food stamps, okay? We're gonna see. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.